All right, good evening, everyone. Make sure I have my reading glasses. Yeah, I'm going to read you something. Isn't that interesting? We're going to read some Luciferian poetry. Yeah. Uh, anyway, please share, like, subscribe if you can support the channel. For symbolic reasons, because I am not a member of the Illuminati or on the $7,000 a video Zionist YouTube content creator list, and I don't monetize my videos. Uh, I'm roughly trying to raise around $33 so I can get a bag of magical fairy dust. Nah, well, I don't. You just know what I'm talking about, catnip, whatever you want to call it. Marijuana. So it never hurts to ask, and that is one of someone just asked me in an email, can you make a video about manifestation? That's how manifestation works. You do not get anything if you never ask for it. I worked in sales for years. I don't monetize my videos. So this is why a lot of people are always asking me, why are you always asking for donations in your videos? Because that's how I'm supported on the channel, more or less. So I have to ask. So yeah, that would be nice. Anyway, I'm going to go over a quick thing here. So I'm going to throw out some reptilian symbolism that's going on with world events right now. This should be right in your face. Coming from one of the most infamous reptilians of the 21st century, in my belief, Aleister Crowley, who this infamous pic of him right here is. Now, if you're interested, I have done of his video from earlier. I have a few videos from Aleister Crowley on this channel. One of them is my lecture I did on Aleister Crowley and Thelema, which is sex magic. I actually got a response from the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn in response to this video, in which they made me a video that was actually called "We Are Not Reptilian Illuminati." I kid you not. I have the video. I've shown it. A real black magic curse performed by Aleister Crowley. Maybe I'll explain that. That's on my channel. That was an actual curse that was done by Aleister Crowley a lot of times on groups of people, and it's done with peas, a can, and anointing oils. That was told to me by a sub of my channel who's an ex-Freemason and working black magician. He also donated the Occult library that I currently own to me for my research. And sometime in the future, I will be selling those books. They're not easy books to sell. That's all I'm going to say. And my other video, famous Alpha Draconian Reptilians, Aleister Crowley, a.k.a. Barbara Bush. I was also told by the same person, Ken, I think you're right about Barbara Bush actually being Aleister Crowley. Why is that important? Because Barbara Bush was the husband of George Bush Sr., who was the member of Skull and Bones, the infamous Bohemian Grovers, and the founder of the CIA. So we're going to go back a little bit. I'm going to show you some symbolism at the Pentagon or the pentagram, the CIA itself. And then I'm going to read you about 5 or 6 lines from an infamous book that Aleister Crowley wrote known as the Book of the Law, which is kind of like the Bible towards people who follow Thelema and sex magic. And in these 5 lines in the Book of the Law, Aleister Crowley basically admits that he is a reptilian. Not only that he is a reptilian, he is an avian reptilian, like how I show them to actually look. He specifically refers to himself more bird-like than lizard-like. And of all things, it's the line in the Book of the Law where he actually insults every religion on planet Earth. Christianity, Islam, Buddhism, Judaism, Hinduism, Zoroastrianism. Yeah, we'll read it. And Buddhism, of course. And basically says, screw all religions. And basically, I am going to become a god myself. And that is their belief in higher occult workings and with the ruling elite, that why worship God, why follow the rules of God when you can become gods yourself. So this is going to get interesting, okay? Now, first of all, you might not know this, but the Pentagon, yeah, infamously the pentagram, 5-pointed star. The 5-pointed star is also mentioned in the Book of the Law. There's a lot going on in the Book of the Law, but it's we're only going to go through a certain few lines of the text because I think it relates more to what's going on with Iran and Israel and the United States and the whole war in the Middle East right now. But basically, did you know that in the center courtyard inside the Pentagon, this is what is in the that is a statue of Molech. Yes, there is an owl in the courtyard. They say it's symbolic because the owls can see everything that's going around. Now, owl is also an anagram for off-world life or otherworldly life form. It's also the infamous symbol of Molech, and that is the god of child sacrifice. What happens in wars? What happened in World War II? Men sent their sons and daughters overseas to be fighting for freedom, and they what? They lost their lives. Yeah, it is a symbol right in the Pentagon that war is a mass human sacrifice. Brought to you by Molech. This god is also known, the owl is also symbolic in the Roman pantheon of Minerva, because obviously Washington, D.C. has a lot of Roman based architecture. You want to know the reason for that? My Roman Greenland theory videos are on my channel also. I put a lot of work into doing all these conspiracies, so this is something that's happened over years of doing research. So there goes one symbolism right there. Now, obviously, when you walk into the CIA, what's the first thing that you see on the floor? Yes, that's a magic circle. CIA is the word magic backwards with the G and the M taken out of it. In the occult, it's thought that you steal things and you reverse it. The Nazis did this with the swastika. The swastika is actually the same ancient sign of the Big Dipper going throughout the night sky throughout the four seasons. And the Nazis took it and reversed it because it was supposed to be symbolic of them ushering in the Fourth Reich in the age of Aquarius. And yeah, who is at the center of all the shit going on around the world? The CIA, Mossad, MI6, the KGB. Yeah. And all these intelligence agencies were founded by secret societies. Starting to see how this works? There's a lot of magic and reptilian symbolism. Oh, yeah, and the reptilian eagle right on the floor. Oh, and when you die in the CIA, what do you become? All men and women are but stars bound to a body. That's Aleister Crowley from the Book of the Law also. Yeah, you get a star put on the wall for you, a pentagram, in honor of the CIA agent who died. They'll be putting 6 of them on the wall for the agents that were recently killed in Dubai, I believe. Here's a side-by-side comparison pic of Aleister Crowley and Barbara Bush. Now, here's the other part of this. See, dressing in drag, so he was not a transgender. Don't get this wrong. Aleister Crowley and Thelema actually teach us to perform high ritual black magic like he did. You need to have a penis and be able to produce human sperm. It's called spermognosis. They thought selling, that's why they just call it sex magic, because I guess it sounds better, huh? Yeah, it's not what you think. So, yeah, Barbara Bush could have easily been Aleister Crowley in drag, but here goes the other thing. He may have been extending his human life by using quote-unquote trans-Eugothian magic. And if he was a reptilian, which I believe he was, I believe he came to this earth in this human form to educate people on the occult and to be a mover and shaker for world events and influence on intelligence agencies. He has ties to British intelligence, the CIA. George Bush Sr. was probably his boyfriend. And it's no coincidence that George Bush found Skull and Bones, the CIA. They get this huge, massive occult knowledge from the rituals taught to them by Aleister Crowley, of all things. And yeah, he may have extended his life by using what is known as Trans-Eugothian magic. It's one of the ways that Lilibet and Prince Philip lived to be so old. That's the idea of stealing the innocence out of small children to suck basically the life essence out of them and prolong your own life. I'm not going to go into details of the ritual, but it's not good. And that's the kind of things that happen at Bohemian Grove, Epstein Island, And of course, the whole elite underground child sex trafficking operations. This is the picture from I had a Crowley. Yeah, you know what? If you look at this, it actually looks like the reflection of his hand on the wall. Looks like a reptilian claw, even. This is a very metaphoric picture, if you know what you're looking at here, casting the shadow of himself on the wall. So let's get to the good part. So this is why I try to tell people that everyone needs to get their head out of their ass, whether you're Christian, Muslim, atheist, I don't care what you identify. Buddhist, Hindu, Confucius, Taoist. I think I'm hitting all the major religions here. That the ruling elite don't care about any one of you, especially reptilians. They don't respect anyone who worships any god, and they only want you worshiping them as gods. And and obviously they're trying to usher in the Antichrist, who is more likely going to be a reptilian shapeshifter. Um, so this is the Book of the Law, Liber out Vegas. This was channeled to Aleister Crowley, supposedly from the alien grey lamb. He is the 71st demon from the Lesser Key of Solomon, known as Dandelion. It also might be a clue as to what the 71st syllable of the 72 syllable lost word of God the Freemason are looking for. The 71st syllable is lamb, Lam. There, I just told you. I'll probably figure it out before they do. They're too busy starting wars and playing on Epstein Island, but oh well, what do I know? Um, I just want to see what the 33rd line of this text says. It talks about a queen, the queen of heaven, being in a deep trance in ritual interest. I never. All right, so this book is written into 3 chapters, and there's a lot to decipher between each of them. But the third one, we're looking to start around line. Okay, we'll start at line 47, and I'll read down to where he's basically going to insult every religion on planet Earth. And not only while doing this, but you're going to notice he's using very bird like avian reptilian symbology while doing it. And there's another line in here where he basically admits to having a hawk's head. And if you know anything about the Egyptian god Horus, Horus also has a head of a hawk, avian symbol. I believe that one is I am the hawk headed Lord of Silence. Lord is an anagram for Loyal Order of the Royal Dragon. I haven't made a video about that yet, but I will. Yeah, you heard that from me first. Loyal Order of the Royal Dragon. Lord. Yeah. I know, but it says in the Bible that Jesus' name is Lord. Yeah, is it really? I don't think Lord was translated from Koine Greek, the original language of the Bible. That's another thing you need to take into account. This is where you start getting into evangelical Christianity. Okay? So we're going to read lines 47 to 55 here. So this one, now the first one is also going to tell you a root of a very well-known magical word also. Line 47, this book should be translated into all tongues. That's the Tower of Babel. But always the original in the writing of the beast. The writing of the beast, we are the beast. According to, we are carbon-based life forms, and if you did not know, the atomic weight of carbon is 666. Six electrons, six neutrons, and six electrons, six neutrons, and it is 666, the atomic weight. I'm a little behind on chemistry right now, and this is why Aleister Crowley referred to himself as the Great Beast, or 666. 666 is actually a reference to humans. He did not like his human form. So when you hear Aleister Crowley calling himself the Beast 666, it's a reference to his human form. This book should be translated in all tongues, but always with the original in the writing of the beast, for in the chance shape of letters and their position to one another. And these are the mysteries that no beast shall divine. He's talking about language. This is going back to the Tower of Babel again. Let him not seek to try, but one cometh after him, whence I say not, who shall discover the key of it all. This is the line drawn as a key. Then this circle squared. How do you square? Now, if you ever hear anyone talking about squaring a circle, that's a Masonic term. That's an occult term. I'll do a video on squaring the circle. It's long story short, it's using black magic casting circles and magic squares to bring the demonic realm in conjunction with our realm and merge them together so you can communicate with a demon. That is squaring the circle. That's the short answer because when you don't lie about shit, the answers are always shorter. Ask an occultist on what squaring the circle means, and you'll probably get a 2-hour lecture where they ain't telling you anything. They're good at that. So, squaring the circle and its failure is a key. And abrahadabra. Yes, abrahadabra. Yeah, that is a magical word. Um, it shall be his child, and that strangely. Let him not seek after this, for thereby alone he can fall from it. Yeah, so very occultic. Like I said, a lot to unpack with this. Now, the next few lines are a little more right in your face. They're a little more obvious. And you're going to hear the obvious avian reptilian symbolism and its mockery of every religion on earth. Now is the mystery of the letters is done. I want to go on to the holier place. I am the secret fourfold word, the blasphemy against all gods of men. Curse them, curse them, curse them. With my hawk's head, I peck out the eyes of Jesus as he hangs upon the cross. I flap my wings in the face of Mohammed and blind him. With my claws, I tear out the flesh of the Indian and the Buddhist, Mongol and Din. Bal, Lasti, Amfelda, I spit on your crapulous creeds. Let Mary inviolate be torn upon wheels. For her sake, let all chaste women be utterly despised among you. Being torn upon wheels. That is a reference to Tartarus. That is one of the punishments of the gods in Tartarus. He's on the wheel and he has his liver eaten out every day by an eagle. Yeah, Tartarus is. I've done a lecture about Tartarus. That's on my channel also. So obviously, in the last line there, he's talking about Mother Mary, and this is a lot of the hatred towards women you start seeing fomenting through, and it doesn't get any more obvious than that. And of course, the most infamous line right here is line number 60. There is no law beyond do as thy will. Everyone has heard that. You see a lot of people and celebrities wearing do as I will on their shirt because they think it's cool. But I want you to remember when they are saying that, they're also endorsing the shit that I just read right here. Basically, insulting every major religion on planet Earth, including Muhammad, Jesus, the Indian, Jinn, Mother Mary, the Buddhist, the Mongol. And not only that, he's talking about pecking out the eyes of people, his hawk's head, his wings, his claws. Hello. I told you, reptilians are avian looking. And the symbolism is right in front of you. So if you've never read the Book of the Law, there's a PDF here. I'll pin it as the top comment. This is from Archive USA. You can read it if you want. And thelema is the Greek word for will, if you did not know that. Now, that's very important because when you join a secret society, they ask you if you're doing it against your own free will, because demons can't violate your free will. So when you join a secret society, Skull and Bones, the CIA, they're going to ask you if you're joining under your own free will, because you are going to be breaking some of the Ten Commandments. And yeah, so you better know what you're getting involved in. And this is what they think about all religions. And remember, one of the things that the Antichrist does, if they do invoke him, is he deceives all the Jews in Israel and kills them right away. Go read the book of Revelation. Zionists are also in the book of Revelation. They're the synagogue of Satan. So, if you read occult text and the Bible, there's a lot of stuff that they tell you right in plain sight. Anyway, it's going to be all for this video. Yeah, we live in a world of symbolism, so if you know how to decode it, it's right in your face. But there is a lot of reptilian symbolism, and they don't respect any religion. So don't let people tell you that this is a holy war. No, people need to start realizing that all 8 billion people on planet Earth are God's chosen people. And we were promised the whole entire planet. So, yeah. Anyway, good luck with that, Zionist. Anyway, if you could support the channel, I'm trying to raise $33. Good Illuminati number, right? Any questions or comments, leave them below. God bless and take care.